All right, let's get it going right here, right now. This is a brand new segment here on the TMI YouTube universe, Shelly Martinez YouTube channel. This is a new series called Shelly's TMI TNA Days. And
The
we're about to dig
days.
into the TNA days of your TNA career. But before we get into that, I'm going to welcome you in here. Welcome in, Miss Shelly Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, as I mentioned right before we started recording, I'm really looking forward to diving into this because it was such a daze to me that whole and I mean, I was there for almost a year, and it's so crazy because so much that happened, it seemed like I was there for many years. And so like I'm just like, it's crazy. And as I've mentioned time and time again, the best way I can equate my relationship with wrestling is to equate it to dating. And as I've mentioned before, WWE was like my first true love. And then they dumped me. And so I was over here with my rebound, which was TNA. So that's why it makes sense. A lot of that was a daze for me because I was heavily butthurt still about being fired from WWE and in survival mode. And so it's crazy reflecting back on that era because at that time I was so stuck in survival mode, even though here I was freaking Salinas over there in TNA on TV. It looked good on paper, right? Or on TV.
Yep.
But behind the scenes, it was so rough, moving back to California, accepting that I got fired and it was, because of my mouth. And so not just that, but the big difference price-wise from living in Kentucky to back to California, Southern California. So that's why my utilities would get shut off and this, that, and the other. So it was rough, but it looked good. But I was in survival mode because those things were going on when I wasn't there at TNA. I had to deal with that stuff. So I feel I couldn't really be present for when I was living in those moments with TNA, and it sucks because I feel I missed out. And there was moments I was very present for and I'm grateful for. But as far as my performance and me and LAX and what we did together and what we build together in the time, I just remember hearing, I don't know. I don't know. And I asked Homicide recently and he's like, I don't remember. I'm like, dang it. But I remember being told by different people. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm just telling you people what I heard. That some people didn't like how over we were because we were the Latin group. And we were so over with all these white ass people and they loved us and they continue to love us, right? So to me, it just fueled me even more to embody Salinas. And when push came to shove, put all of my being in survival on pause and just like using all that, the realness that I was going through at that time behind the scenes, being a broke ass bitch, but being on TV. And I wasn't the only one. There was a locker room of us, And
Right.
so I don't know. I feel when we were building what we were building, it was out of spite, dude. Out of spite because it kept getting back to us that some people that were kind of powers that be types didn't like that we were getting so over. And so out of spite, we just went out there and killed it even harder. Like when you see Hernandez wearing like a poncho that's like not like a cool badass one, but kind of like comical, that's on purpose. When I wore the sombrero that was like straw, made of straw, it's because they gave us a bunch of props. So like, here, pick some things out of here. And I looked and they said, this looks like out of like a kid's party. I was like, whatever, I'll wear it. And I wore it. It was all out of spite, dude. And it made us even more popular. But when I was living in that, it was purely out of spite. Whereas now when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that. I remember feeling that energy of that crowd, and it was effing amazing. Like, how is it that it's such a daze?
And that's why it's the TNA days. And we'll look back at this and we're going to start at the beginning with your first appearance at Bound for Glory 2007. So we're not even going to dig into the whole LAX experience yet. We will. We're going to build to that and we'll see the groundwork laid for LAX as we go along. Because even on this show, you see a little bit of Salinas in your appearance, but you're not yet Salinas in this Bound for Glory pay-per-view. But when we do this TNA days, we'll go through the impacts and the pay-per-views and the appearances and what we can pull. And we will do this as a review and like refresher for you. So well, I've got our questions. We've got the match itself. So we'll play the match here shortly and we'll talk over the match. We'll talk about things going on during it and we'll talk about the night. So the first things first, the TNA introduction. This is the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, so their biggest show of the year. The night itself was going to be in a huge venue, but they were crowning the first ever Knockouts champion. So they're rebranding the women's division right there. Your first night in. Women's division's changing. So what do you remember about that pitch, about that happening? So just to point out, your release from the WWE happens May 18th, 2007. This is October 14th, 2007. So we're 6 months later, less than 6 months. We're 5 months later. So what do you remember about the initial pitch or the initial call to come to TNA and being a part of this first ever Knockouts Championship Battle Royal or Gauntlet match? Excuse me.
Yeah, the Gauntlet match. So I get fired. Shortly after that, I can't remember the timeline exactly. TNA had some kind of pay-per-view that was drivable from Kentucky because I was still in Kentucky. And so I went there pitching to be with Frankie Kazarian because Frankie Kazarian is one of the people that I give props to as my first trainer. I've always had a great relationship with Frankie. So I went there pitching that, and I remember Terry Taylor saying that it sounded like a good idea, but they had this idea for me to be with LAX, and then that tripped me out, as I've talked about in the early episodes here on TMI. When I was Ariel, and I didn't think twice about losing my job because I wasn't really in jeopardy. It wasn't in jeopardy. When I would do cardio and I would watch TNA, I would picture myself with them and the look and everything. So then when Terry Taylor was like, "We picture you with them, but we're not sure." And so I was like, "Okay." So then a couple months go by, I'm moving back to California, and then that's when Terry Taylor calls me and says, "We're going to have this pay-per-view and we're going to have this gauntlet match because we're rebuilding, like exactly like you said, pretty much the women's division. And we're not sure if we want you to be a part of LAX still or do your own thing. So can you bring some LAX gear that would look like it would go with them?" And to me, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy," because I already knew what to wear because I was preparing while I was Ariel without even realizing that Salinas was going to be a thing. So the attire I have for the gauntlet, even though I was not with LAX yet, that's why it looks that way,
Okay.
because that was always the kind of in the back of their minds way back before I even knew it. I'm over here trying to pitch Frankie Kazarian. They already had their minds made up about it. So they just weren't sure. And I feel like maybe they were testing it out, seeing how it would go, whatever. And so that's why that attire, and then I ended up tweaking it, of course, when I became Salinas. But that's why that's the first look. And it's like, wait a minute, she's not with them yet. What's going on here? And that's what was going on. And I had to give a nod, of course, to Cypress Hill because at the time I was friends with them. And that's why I have the Cypress Hill top on, which I was going to wear today, but it's ripped and I couldn't figure it out to like fix it. So I went with this one, but yeah, that's the story behind why I had the Cypress Hill top on. And,
Okay.
and I really appreciate that. And I didn't at the time. I just thought, whatever. When there's that opening shot with me, ODB, and the blondes, I'm sorry, the blondes, that's what we used to call them. Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, the beautiful people. And when they had that close up, I was so like, yeah, because I had that shirt on and I didn't realize, like, whoa, now I see it. They were already kind of like highlighting me and I didn't realize it. I just thought I'm just doing this promo. It's boobs. It makes sense. But now when I reflect back, it's crazy because they were putting pieces together already of transforming me to be with LAX in my opinion. They
Right.
just kept trying to try me out. So that's what that whole look was about. That's what the whole pitch is always was and it ended up being, And I think I even though it would have been cool full circle to manage Frankie, man, LAX and Salinas and this being the beginning stages. And to me, it was so cool because that locker room was a bunch of girls who I always felt deserved to be on TV, and they almost got their chance, but something always happened. And so that energy, the support that was there, it was so awesome.
So what was the atmosphere backstage before the Gauntlet match? Because obviously, it's the first crowning of the Knockouts Championship, the rebranding. What's the atmosphere with the ladies in the locker room? Do they feel the atmosphere changing? Do they feel a little bit of pressure to make sure this stands out? I mean, for the time, 15 minutes on pay-per-view for a women's match is pretty lengthy, even for TNA, and it being a gauntlet match. So that's the lot, that could be a lot of pressure. So what was the atmosphere like backstage?
I just remember everyone being excited, ready to go out there to kill it. And the energy I felt that was there was we all finally get to do something that makes us shine and is building something here that's different. That was always the vibe. And it wasn't like we were trying to compete with the divas in WWE or the women wrestlers in WWE. We were our own entity and we liked that. We were like, yeah, we felt the creativity was we were able to make more choices with that and it was like so a better extension of ourselves and our characters and things like that. That's why you have these iconic characters because we finally got to just more or less be ourselves more into putting the creative process versus being told this is what you're going to do da, 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 da. Everything made sense. Everyone's character made sense. Somebody that comes to mind is like ODB, for example. How many times people are like, oh, you need to be fit in this box over here. Whereas TNA was like, just be ODB. And look at what happened to ODB.
Right.
So that I just remember everyone being super supportive and ready to go out there and change things. I'm not trying to sound whatever, but change things, just
Yeah.
change how the game is played. That was what was up. And it wasn't like anyone was, in competition with this one or that one and anything like that. It was a really cool moment of all of us gals coming together to put on not only just a good show, the show.
That's awesome. But did you feel any kind of pressure coming in as a WWE talent? Because, okay, now this is one thing, and we'll go through that in a little bit too. We'll run down the card after we watch the match to talk about who else is on the show. A lot of WWE talent that was there. I mean, less than a year prior to when you were in WWE as well, that's now in TNA. So did you feel any kind of WWE heat joining that locker room, or were you welcomed with open arms?
That's a really good question because here's the thing. I always felt accepted, and because there was such a WWE presence, I felt comfortable immediately. And I saw that the people that I used to share a locker room with at one point in WWE, and they were there, I saw a difference in how they were backstage, and they seemed like they were having fun. They seemed happy. They seemed like what we signed up for wrestling, and not to say that they didn't make the best of it when I worked with them in WWE, but it just seemed more relaxed. So then
Right.
therefore I was like, "This is awesome." And I was more relaxed. I don't know if I got heat for it, but I didn't feel any kind of rejection or whatever. I just kind of slid right in there, and because of the non-WWE people and because of my career prior to WWE, I knew them. So I knew almost everyone there somehow, some way. Yeah, there were some people I wasn't familiar with or didn't know that well or didn't know at all, but a good bulk of the people that were there, I did. And it was easy just to it took the pressure off of, like, the pressure that was in WWE in the backstage, especially around Vince and this and that, whereas around Dixie or Jeff Jarrett, people just seemed to be themselves. They weren't having their guard up and having to watch what they say and how they say it and this and that. It just seemed honestly, more like being on a movie set or something or television show sets, or TV series. That's what the vibe was, and I love that, as I've talked about so many times, that world is a part of my world as well, and I love that TNA felt less of like a locker room at that time and more of like, we're putting on a television show and here we are. And I would always when I would do, like, background or like, a small role into on, like, something that was huge. For example, when I was on VIP, seeing Pamela Anderson and her co-stars interact and having fun, that's what I was seeing at TNA. Like, the
Hmm.
people that I worked with, like, that vibe of and I was like, "Wow, this is so awesome." So at that point, I was just, "Bring it on, TNA. F you, WWE," is how I felt big time at that point.
Do you and this before we get into the match here, one final question, like exposition. Do you think Dixie gets a little too much flack, or do you think Dixie's flack is kind of earned for her performance during her time owning TNA or being part of the TNA ownership? Because I know of her family ties to the ownership and Jeff and everything. But what do you think that the hate on Dixie is deserved or kind of just a pile on?
I don't know because even though I always felt Dixie didn't care for me based on her actions, I just don't know that lady at all. And so I would hear things, and so I'm not sure. I kind of feel I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it gives me Tony Khan vibes. How people were, with like Tony Khan. Like there's always a story and oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. And a lot of that's true. To know the wrestling business and you just because you come from an entertainment or putting on like whatever that relates to owning a wrestling company doesn't mean you know how to run a wrestling company. That's why they have these people in place in power to help them that have. So there's gonna be this disconnect. So there's always gonna be that element and reputation that comes with it because at the end of the day, you're an outsider. You don't know what you're doing, especially if they're messing things up. I know some people had said they felt Dixie's involvement, she messed some things up. I think that it just I don't know, it's how you look at it, I guess. I am trying to think of the right words, because I used to have real heat with Dixie because my feelings were hurt because I felt like she didn't like me.
Right.
But
Okay.
once I look back, I'm like, I don't even know the lady. I really don't. That's why my interactions with her were very limited, because I felt she didn't care to interact with me. So I don't know what to say about her except she hurt my feelings. And maybe people's reasoning for giving the flack are very valid. I feel sometimes people just want to blame her when it's like not just her. There's other people involved too. And maybe someone should have stepped in. Maybe there was a lot of people that were making bad decisions. And she's just the one that gets all the flack because she was, the one that was like the head or whatever. I don't know. I think it's complicated with Dixie Carter.
Okay. Valid. I mean, obviously, from people that that I know that worked there, they had things that were positive, but ended up negative on the way out. There were always some sort of like last minute things ready to drop. There was a
Yeah.
promise and then it was not kept. There was, we'll do this for you. And then it was not kept or met. And then obviously you've heard over time stories of they've done that to many, many people. It's actually funny. We were talking about Cornette in our last episode of TMI, to episode number 20. I heard him talking about Jesse Neal fairly recently, yeah. So we were talking about Cornette. I was listening to Cornette's podcast. He was mentioning something about Jesse Neal, and Jesse Neal got one of the injury promises. Hey, we'll take care of you, give you this job as an agent, and then apparently it never fell through. Well, how many times did she do that to people? Hey, we'll take care of you. That Daphne's another one that comes to mind. Shane's Douglas is another one that comes to mind. So as much as like I feel bad for Dixie over time that she's gotten shit on, a lot of it is kind of deserved, So
That's the thing. I hear these
it's good and
stories.
bad.
I hear these stories, and I've witnessed people, just like you said, at first they were all about her, and then she didn't come through or screwed them over somehow. And then there's some people who are still like super cool with her and love her. So I don't know, but I do know that there's stories out there, and those stories make me feel like I wasn't missing much in not having a relationship with Dixie Carter.
Got it. Well, she did love your LAX partner.
That's what
that's
the
been said.
rumor. That's a rumor. I don't know. I want to know. I want to know. He doesn't talk to me, so I can't ask him.
That is the hot rumor on the street. Big fan. All right, so let's dig into this. Let's dig into this match. Let me get this up on the screen. All right, so we're just gonna start it right from the beginning.
All right, let's buckle
we're gonna let it roll. We are at the Gwinnett something arena. The Gwinnett. Let me tell you, it is the Gwinnett. It's called the Arena at Gwinnett Center in front of 4,000 fans. Bound for Glory 2007.
Oh,
So
hearing those voices.
We got the commentary of Mike Tenay and Don West.
Those voices.
So we got Tracy Brooks is entrant number 1, and then Miss Jackie is entrant number 2. Now, Miss Jackie at the time is paired with James Storm,
Right.
who you will have some interaction with during your LAX run. Look at that strut. So, what do you remember about this arena? Do you remember anything specific about it? I mean, for this time in 2007, this is a huge arena for TNA.
I don't remember. I just remember because again, I felt like this was my big audition to see if this is the final cut, if I'm going to make it. Because at this point, even though I was on this pay-per-view, it still wasn't for sure if they were going to sign me or just use me for that pay-per-view. So that's how they got me. They're like, either way, you'll get paid for at least doing the Gauntlet. So sorry, I just got distracted with them. No. So
Try your best. It is distracting, but we gotta
I know.
focus on the task at hand here.
I know. So I just remember feeling I gotta make this work because I need them to hire me so that I could survive.
So all you care about is the match of survival. Now we've got about 20-second interval, or I don't know what the interval. Maybe it's 90 seconds where they come in. But now there's going to be another member of the Gauntlet coming at number 3. Do you know who entrant number 3 would be?
Is it Roxy?
Well, let's take a look. We got 5 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's me! Oh my gosh. Yay, I got billed as Shelly Martinez. I forget about that.
So that's again where I was surprised to see that, because I didn't remember that you originally were billed as Shelly and not just Salinas right out of the gate.
And here's the thing. I pitched that my name be Martinez because we had Hernandez, of course.
Yeah.
So it makes sense if I was Shelly Martinez, but whatever. I'm fine with Salinas because I like all the Salinas propaganda with the anything for Salinas. So I'll take it. I love it.
That's great. Taking off of the Selena movie. Very, very nice. Let's see who we have next.
You know, a fun fact about Kong, aka Kia. I met her when I was like maybe a year or so into wrestling. She went to the wrestling school that I went to because she was filming a reality TV show. No, it wasn't like about her. It was like one of these not reality TV, but something you'd see like on some cable channel that has little documentaries or whatever. And it was about losing weight, and she wanted to lose weight. One of the ways, because she always wanted to like wrestle, was to go to the wrestling school. And so that's how I got to know her originally was. And then she stuck with it after the show was done filming. She stuck with it and continued to train there and became who she is today.
So I love Kong's look because she was so different, and I think that's what separated her about the Knockouts division. She really she brought that like real killer like look to it. But so get back to this match. So now we're just in like 30-second intervals where everybody's coming at full speed and you just got dumped out.
I did.
So why did you get such a short showing?
Well, you know, they were just trying me out, so it's fine. I'm fine with it.
I mean, you did come in hot. You came in, you hit a couple moves. You didn't just get jobbed out.
Yeah, I did. I knew the assignment, and that was the assignment, and that's why they decided to hire me, because shortly after this is when I got the call that they were going to sign me for a year.
And there you go. And it's, you got thrown out by Jackie, so you weren't just fed to Kong. Kong throws everybody else out.
Right.
So you got thrown out by Jackie, which would tie into some later storyline fodder. But this is also memorable for another reason coming up here. If you do recall, let's see if you remember this. I don't want to spoil it. But something happens in this match with Kong. Do you remember?
No.
This is why I remembered the match and where I was when I was watching it, because I remember the incident that happens. So now we got Angelina Love. Is she Angel Williams in this? I think she might still be Angel Williams.
I think so. Yeah. I feel that was the thing too. It wasn't just me having a look-see. I feel they already had this idea with the beautiful people or pairing her and Jamie up, aka Velvet.
Yeah.
I feel it was just all of our way to show the company, hey, this is what we can do. And that's what they wanted from us. Like right now, I forgot that she was Angel Williams. I'm like, oh yeah, where's Velvet Sky? Oh yeah, we're not there yet. I just feel this is one big, let's see if this works out. We all killed it. And so it worked out for all of us.
Okay, so here's another with Christy Hemme. So she's another WWE cast off. Pretty big run there. Diva Search winner, Playboy cover girl.
Yeah.
And she had a pretty good run in TNA for a very long time. I'll leave it at that. I won't say anything else.
Why? Is there something there to say?
I mean, there's a couple other funny little tidbits I could throw in, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
At the moment. We'll let those develop over time.
Okay.
I remember hearing about her being in creative meetings in TNA.
Oh.
And friends of mine who also were in creative meetings didn't understand why she was there.
Oh.
Oh, Gail Kim. Here's another one. Now, did you think that TNA did have a better foundation of booking for the females already with the amount of talent they had versus WWE, and that WWE was really, more about selling the posters and the books than booking the actual girls?
Yeah, it was completely different in that sense. And it was cool that they allowed me to showcase that I am a wrestler as well. Maybe if I would have stayed around longer, I could have showcased that more, but that's fine. Whatever. But
all right, hang on. Sorry to cut you off. Right here. Which I know I do all the time. This was a big moment.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The wardrobe malfunction.
I forgot
awesome
about that. Oh, that sucks.
What do you remember about that now seeing it? Anything backstage?
Just being like, oh man, that sucks. I don't feel like she was mad or whatever. I kind of don't remember really.
That was a pretty healthy boobie reveal right there.
Poor thing. Ugh.
I mean, is that the worst fear when you're out there?
It's one of them, yes. When you're a woman, especially, yes.
I mean, I can't imagine. I really can't. Talia Madison. There's a blast from the past.
I know. Best highlights in the business.
And here's the last competitor. Let's see. It is your prediction of entrant number 3. It is Roxy. So right there, your matches: Tracy Brooks, Jackie Moore, yourself, Awesome Kong, ODB, Angel Williams, Christy Hemme, Gail Kim, Talia Madison, Roxy Laveau. That's a heck of a roster right there just for one match.
I know. And it was awesome. Everyone was on board. Everyone knew their assignment, and did their assignment. And that's why it all came together. And everyone there ended up having a good career in TNA. Maybe not me so much, but that's my own fault. But everyone else, absolutely.
I wouldn't. Don't undercut what you did. And again, that's what we'll go over here while we go through.
I just meant the
TNA
longevity
days.
of it.
Yeah, no, but still, I mean, look, a year is a year. We're gonna have that LAX theme stuck in your head.
I know, it'll be awesome.
I think we got our final four here.
And I just want to say, everyone that's participated in this gauntlet match looks so cute. I just love it.
Referee Slick Johnson in the ring, known for having the bicycle shorts.
Yeah, he did.
He was a leftover from WCW.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you were to look at some of these girls, do you think there are any of these other girls that didn't get a rightful opportunity, that maybe got the booking, the short end of the stick?
No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But as far I don't know. Go ahead.
They all kind of, TNA was special in that case where they really fit everybody into every puzzle piece. Oh, that had to hurt.
That's
that
the
TNA
thing
match
is,
seems unforgiving.
I feel they made room for the women. They saw the important. I don't know. I'm just speculating based on how they allowed us to be highlighted and have our time and tell a good story, sisters, brothers. They believed in, or they saw the, let's just be honest, draw that is there for women's wrestling. And look, I love how the diva era was back in the day and everything, so it's not knocking it, but it was just such a completely different entity. Nowadays, people probably that are younger are like, what are you talking about? What's the big deal? This was a big deal here. What's going on right now was a big deal. And to be a part of that was so freaking awesome. And to see that the company was not only going that route with it, but saw the potential there and saw the making money there. So I felt, even though I wasn't getting paid enough, I still felt, as far as what you're talking about, they gave us that, that respect, or that they didn't give us chump change on our TV time and telling the stories. That's what my point is.
So it's kind of like, as we see Gail Kim wins the match, where the Knockouts division succeeded, where maybe the Divas division didn't. They had a little bit more equal time.
Yeah, and I just seen a clip that Layla, shout out to her, was talking about, and she was saying, when the guys would go over in their match, they would take it from the girls' match. And at TNA, stuff like that, I don't remember happening. I remember our time was our time, and everyone respected our time. And that's one of the differences now, to hear her say that, because I wasn't in a position, because I was never pushed as a wrestler. I never really had a match. I mean, I guess with Kelly, but other than that, so that's foreign to me, that side of it. So to hear her talk about that, I was like, oh yeah, at TNA, it wasn't like that. Not at all.
Yeah. And it's evident. I mean, you can really see it, and whether or not certain guys on the booking team were more a proponent for the female performers versus others, you could see it was evident. I think if you're a fan from that era, you'd name more of the knockout talent, I think, a little faster than you do some of maybe the deeper cut diva talent, because the WWE, I mean, obviously it's WWE. They just highlighted the same cycled talent. I mean, it was always the same kind of 4, 5 people in and out, and when they were tired of this, they just move them over to the other show, and it was kind of it. So it just seemed like TNA had a better kind of over like this knockouts really and again you had to be around at the time. The knockouts division really changed things, and Gail Kim was like at the centerpiece of it. So and then that was like anticipated that she was going to win that. I mean, no offense, sorry.
No, and I was just so happy to be there, and like I've mentioned, just wanting to land at least that year contract so I knew that I can work with something there with trying to get myself back in order, pick myself back up now that I'm in Southern California. So that's what I see, like, my involvement in this match when we first whatever, and here's the thing. Bubba gave me crap that day because he's like, "You threw the Team 3D sign out, what's up with that?" Because I came out and did
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and the reason why I did that is because my friends that I used to watch wrestling with, and we'd have pay-per-view parties and all this, we had a fake little gang. We called ourselves it was 33rd Street. So this was throwing up 33rd Street as a nod to my friends that I always wanted to create with. I always thought once I saw how Adam Sandler treated his people, always working with his people, but the thing is, his people are good. They know their role, they know how to be those characters. So, yeah, that was me and my friends because they were film school people and this and that. So that was my "What's up, 33rd Street?" And you know what? F 33rd Street, because all of you guys turned your back on me when I was, like, on
Oh,
TV. So F you guys.
what?
I was supposed to be the Adam Sandler, remember? You guys suck, and I'm still bitter
What
and butthurt
heels?
about it. I know. I know. I think about it all
Well,
the
I mean,
time.
look, I throw this up all the time because I did the Triple Threat podcast with Shane for 4 years, and we ended the show like that. Moved on to doing the show with Francine and did this to end the show. So when we end our show, a lot of times I still throw this up. It's just
That's
out of
fine.
habit. So,
But
hey,
it's
Bubba, don't come for me, okay?
But it's funny because at the time, I was not thinking about that in any way, shape, or form. All I thought was, "This is my chance because I love a
Yeah,
good Easter egg and something, where my friends are gonna be watching that, and they're gonna be like, 'Oh my gosh, Shelly on a pay-per-view for TNA threw up 33rd Street sign.'" That's what I was going for, so I'm just that girl, and that's why I threw it up, but right now, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, 33rd Street, that's right, Bubba." He was like,
that's
"What's up with you throwing
hilarious.
our sign?"
All right, so now Bound for Glory memories. I'm going to give you the rest of the card.
Okay.
Okay, so you said you saw other former WWE talent that you worked with. It's probably OVW talent that you worked with, probably California talent you worked with. There, relaxed in a chill environment. This is the backstage area in this place must have been the biggest ass place known to man because there's so many people on this damn show. All right, here we go. You ready?
Mhm.
The Motor City Machine Guns defeated Joey Matthews and Johnny Swinger in the opening tag match. Okay. So you got Joey Matthews there right out of the gate. It's classic OB Dub. I've heard stories. Joey Matthews. Uh,
Wait, hold on
Another
a second.
story. Yeah.
I used to like Joey Matthews, and then it got back to me how he talks crap about me, and that sucked to hear. So, whatever, Joey.
I just heard a lot of crazy stuff about Joey Matthews. So but he's there. He's there that night.
Interesting.
LAX. Homicide Hernandez defeat Triple X. Senshi and Elix Skipper. Do you remember who Senshi was?
No.
Senshi was Loki.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Loki I'll never forget him because one night a friend of mine and I were in the backstage area at an indie show, guests of Just Incredible, and low-key wanted to kill us. So I'll never forget low-key as long as I live.
You know, I have a low-key story.
Little man complex.
So this was WrestleCon. I think it was Reunion still. And it was, I believe, in Miami. And I remember it was the Sunday of the weekend. So, you know, the slow day. So you wrap things up early. Me, Amber O'Neal, I can't remember who else. There was a couple other people were with us. And we were on, there was like this beach and then there was a bar. And I was just dancing. And then Loki was across the bar and he DM'd me on Twitter because I was like filming stuff. And he was like, you dance like a, oh, I'm sorry. No, he didn't do, I'm sorry. I'm wrong on that one. He wrote on a piece of paper and told the bartender to give me the paper. And it said, you're dancing like a white girl right now. And I just looked at him and I went, loser. And then I kept dancing. And so whenever I hear his name and whatever, I always think of that moment. And I just looked at him and I went, just loser.
That's great.
Well, anyways,
he was there.
On.
He was there that night too.
He was there.
All right, now the fight for the right reverse battle royal. Do you remember the reverse battle royal? What that was?
No.
Okay, you fight to get into the ring, and then you fight to throw them out. I believe is the second part of it. Okay.
Why don't I remember this?
All right, here are the participants.
Okay.
Eric Young defeated Robert Roode, James Storm, BG James, otherwise known as Road Dogg, Kip James, otherwise known as Billy Gunn, Lance Hoyt, Jimmy Rave, Chris Harris, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Kazarian, Petey Williams, Junior Fatu, otherwise known as Rikishi, Jimmy Havoc, right? Havoc, I believe that was him. Shark Boy and Sanjay Dutt, all in one match.
That's how we rolled back then at TNA.
That's the third match on the card.
That's how TNA was.
Okay. Match 4. AJ Styles and Tomko.
Yeah.
Defeat Team Pac-Man. So now this is the Pac-Man Jones era. Do you remember Pac-Man Jones?
No. Why don't I remember Pac-Man
Jones?
So
Pac-Man Jones was like a kind of controversial football player. Adam Pac-Man Jones at the time. I think he may have played for the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't remember. Don't kill me if I got that wrong. Team Pac-Man Jones was the team of Ron Killings. Okay, and tell me if you remember this name. Rashid Lucius Creed.
No.
Okay. Rashid Lucius Creed, otherwise known as Consequences Creed, otherwise known as Xavier Woods, who's still active today, just left the WWE.
I don't remember this group.
We're only on match 4.
Yeah,
okay?
match
We're not
4.
even close.
That's how it was back then.
Okay. Match 5, Jay Lethal versus Christopher Daniels for the X Division Championship. Okay, Jay Lethal gets the win, defends his title. How about this for match 6? This is freaking crazy. The Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner, defeat Team 3D in a 2 out of 3 falls tables match.
Get the tables. I know.
But the Steiners, they're back together in 2007.
That's Holy how crap. It was.
Okay, now we're up to your match number 7. Okay, Gail Kim wins the Knockouts Championship. Match number 8. Samoa Joe defeats Christian Cage in a singles match with special guest ring enforcer Matt Morgan. They got 15 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right.
Okay. Match 9, a Monsters Ball match. Abyss defeats Raven, Rhino, and Black Rain, otherwise known as Dustin Rhodes.
Right. Yeah. It's coming back and little foggy in that days. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I felt very comfortable in that locker room because of a lot of the people that you're mentioning. And then the people I didn't know, I would see who they were cool with. And if, I don't know, it just seemed fine. Everyone was fine. Like, anyways, go on.
And not to mention Black Rain with Father James Mitchell.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
So we got to throw him in there. And then finally, the main event 18 minutes and 20 seconds. Sting defeats Kurt Angle for the TNA Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Woo!
I know. That's how it was. Do you see why I was excited to be there?
This is
what was going on. It was crazy. The vibe, even though it wasn't ECW, the energy, it made me feel like I was experiencing what I would hear the originals talk about when they were building ECW, especially because this was the building stage of that knockouts division. And then not only that, think about all those people you just like, a lot of those people ended up becoming, let's just be real, like superstars, whether in TNA or what other places as well, and continue to. So this was not just the beginning of building the women's division and changing things up. It was the beginning of the careers of people who are household names now.
Yeah.
And along with people who were already household names at that time. And I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but for what I saw, because I love having me a good fly on the wall moment. I like to trespass in people's life, daily life. So I would sit there much like I would when I was in WWE and just kind of watch everyone. And I felt like watching people go over their matches with other people, there was just a different vibe about it than, and I can't even explain it, than when I saw in WWE. I saw shades of it there, and when I saw shades of it there, it was with people who had been around for a long time, so that's how they prepare for things. So I don't know, man. TNA, I don't know if it changed at all. I mean, I'm sure it has. But that time, I feel the reason why it was so raw and so awesome is because everyone on the card was there to put on a damn good show. And I don't remember seeing people walk around being like, oh, this dude's trying to job me out, or this girl's trying to da da da. It was everyone, for the most part, from what I saw, working together for the show. And it was awesome, dude. It was so cool, and that's why it made TNA being a good rebound for me, because I was so butthurt about WWE and what went down. I needed that recharge, and TNA was giving it to me at the beginning stages of my career there.
That's a great place to put a bookmark in it. I just want to give you the final count of wrestlers on Bound for Glory 2007 is 56. That's freaking crazy. 56.
I know.
That we're gonna have to keep track of something like that. 56 wrestlers. I'm writing this down. Bound for Glory 2000. I said 2006. No, 2007. 56 wrestlers. I'm getting confused. That's so many numbers. I'm getting I'm getting verklempt. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, hey, this is the first journey back into the TNA days. We will do this again, and we will see where else the journey takes us. But I love this. This was a lot of fun. So if you're ready to keep on digging back, we'll do this.
I'm scared because there's a lot of things that from that era, even though it was a days, that bother me to this day, that or I think about to this day. So
Therapy session.
it is, but at the same time, it's just crazy because I feel because so much of it was a daze, I kinda clump it up in this, like, almost like, "Oh, that didn't happen," like, kinda vibe that I forget that, no, that's why these different little things that stand out to me, and I still think about to this day because it was a pivotal time for me there, and everyone else around me. But then it changed, so it'll be interesting to see where I started to the shift was to where ultimately I quit. It's gonna be really interesting.
Got it. Did you have your fangs in that night
At
at
the
at the pay-per-view?
No.
I was just asking. Couldn't tell.
Not at all.
I was just wondering. I don't know if one of the things is like have fangs will travel kind of. Yeah, I mean, bring them if you got them. You got fangs. Who knows where if you might need them.
I know
If you
why, that's why I used to
travel.
carrying 'em in my purse all the time. I used to. It's crazy because I was thinking to myself, "I think I need to just get a new pair of fangs, recast my thing because the ones I have are so old and gross." So, this is a little fang talk over here.
Little fang talk. All right. Well, we'll get out of here for today. This was TMI's TNA Days. We will catch you next time. For Shelly from Cali, this is your old buddy, the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side. We don't need to do anything like that. We're on audio.
Oh.